a holy in my soul. Now is whole until the Super Bowl.
Hey YouTube, Sandyfrank here. This week we have week 2 of Let's Have Some Football. So in our little contest, our picks contest, we had 6 people enter. Now 4 of those people that entered were going head to head against each other. So of course 2 of those people in those head-to-head matchups had to go down. And unfortunately, Jason, VT Sports Guy, he picked the Giants. Rangers Baseball picked the Dallas Cowboys. So Rangers Baseball, they picked the Cowboys. They move on to this week. Unfortunately, Jason, VT Sports Guy, is out of the contest. But thank you for playing. All right. We had another head-to-head matchup. Christopher, man, I can't read my writing here. Christopher, he picked the Buffalo Bills. They were playing the Jets. The Plushy Bros picked the Jets. And, of course, the Jets shocked me and probably shocked a lot of people by taking out Buffalo. Really bad game for Josh Allen. A little concerning. So the Plush Bros with the Jets, they move on and are into this week. Unfortunately, Christopher with the Bills, he's out. So we have 2 other people advance. One of them was me. I picked the Baltimore Ravens. They won. And I move on to week 2. Also, Winto, he picked Atlanta. Now, he won the PSA graded card last year. So he is a force to be reckoned with. He picked the Atlanta Falcons. They win. That was a gutsy pick, I thought. And he goes on to this week. Now, as you guys know, the rules. You cannot pick the same team again. So I cannot pick Baltimore Ravens. Rangers cannot pick Dallas. Winto cannot pick Atlanta. And the Plushy Bros cannot pick the Jets. So in the comments down below, guys, make your pick. I'll make my pick here on the video, of course. And guys, if someone else picks a team that you wanted to pick, it's okay. More than one person can pick the same team. It's just you can't pick the same team more than once during the season. So let's see if we can all 4 of us get to the next week. All right. So in other action, in my picks were pretty bad overall. I went 8-8 in my picks, but I did get my one pick right that got me in the next round. I was very disappointed with the Chiefs. Kadarius Toney, one of the worst wide receiver games I've ever seen. He was bad, and if you have to, let me fix this mic. If you have to say we lost because of this, I'd point the finger at Kadarius Toney. So, Chiefs losing last week. This week, they are at Jacksonville, taking on Trevor Lawrence. That's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a very tough game, but I have to think the Chiefs are going to win that. So I'm picking the Chiefs in that game. And I think that having 10 days to just stew on losing the home opener is going to have them completely ready for that game at Jacksonville. So Carolina at Atlanta, of course, we talked about Atlanta won. That got Winto into the next round. Cincinnati won at Cleveland. Oh, no. I picked Cincinnati. Cleveland ended up winning. And Deshaun Watson actually didn't look terrible out there. I picked Jacksonville. at Indianapolis. I got that one right. I thought Minnesota would beat Tampa Bay. I was wrong. Minnesota got shocked by Tampa Bay at Minnesota. I almost got this one right. Tennessee at New Orleans. New Orleans pulled it out, but Tennessee was right in there. San Francisco at Pittsburgh. I got that one right. Arizona at Washington. I got that one. Of course, my money pick, I guess you'd say, my Baltimore Ravens versus Houston. They won. Green Bay at Chicago. I didn't think Green Bay was going to be this good, but they looked pretty good in that game. The Raiders at Denver. I was very shocked that the Broncos lost at home to the Raiders, and I was wrong on that game. I did pick Philadelphia to beat New England, and I missed on this one. I thought the Chargers would beat Miami, but Miami's got Tyreek Hill. That's scary. He's a great player, obviously. I did get the Rams at Seattle, Dallas at the Giants, but I thought the Jets would lose to Buffalo, so I lost that one. So this week's picks, I like Philadelphia, or I already picked the Kansas City game, but I'm taking the Eagles, which the game already happened, but I made this pick before the game. I'm taking the Eagles against Minnesota, and I got that one right. So I'm going to give myself a little check mark on that one. Good job, me. I like Buffalo at home against Las Vegas and the Raiders. I like Detroit at home against Seattle. I like the Tampa Bay Bucks at home against Chicago. I'm going with Indianapolis at Houston. I like the Giants winning at Arizona. I'm going with the Denver Broncos winning at home against the Redskins. The Commanders. I'm going with the Saints winning at Carolina. I'm going to go against Green Bay again, and I'm sure I'll get comments, but I am going to go with the Falcons at home against Green Bay. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win against Baltimore. Now, I just think the Bengals they're in a really tough spot. They're going to be at home. That's going to be tough if they start 0-2, but it could happen. But I'm going to pick the Bengals. That could come back and bite me. We got the Chargers at Tennessee. I like the Chargers in that game. San Francisco at the Rams. I like San Francisco. I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Jets. They're playing New York teams the first two games. I'm going with Miami at New England. I think the Dolphins just have too much offense. And I have to pick the Browns to beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. All right, let's hope I do better than 8-8 this week. Now, my entry into the contest. Here it is. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills as my kind of like my lock this week. The Buffalo Bills, they are at home. They are mad. Josh Allen wants to show that he is not terrible, and they're going to beat the Raiders. That's my pick this week. That's my contest pick, my entry. And that's going to get me to week 3. All right, now moving on to fantasy football. It was not a good week for my fantasy team. I got obliterated. I lost 124 to 71. So over 50 points got beat by. And sometimes you have weeks, almost always you have every game, if you would have picked different people, you would have won the game possibly. I looked at, if I would have picked a perfect lineup and picked the highest scoring guy of all the guys I got, I still would have lost pretty badly in this game. So it might be a long season for my fantasy team. But my lineup this week, I'm going to shake things up after getting obliterated week 1. We're playing another really good team, by the way, this week. We're going with Deshaun Watson of the Browns at quarterback. I'm going with Travis Etienne for Jacksonville at running back, along with Derrick Henry. That's my 2 running backs. I'm going with, here's my 3 wide receivers. I picked this guy up this week. He looked really good. Rashid Shaheed for New Orleans. and I'm playing Chris Olave. So I've got two New Orleans Saints wide receivers this week. They are at Carolina. That could really burn me, but I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to play Zay Jones for Jacksonville. And my receiver. Okay, sorry about that. We had a slight camera malfunction. So I was talking about my receivers. Now in this league, we can start one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, a receiver, which can be a tight end or a wide receiver, and then a flex spot, which can be running back, wide receiver, or tight end. So I had the New Orleans guys, Rashid and Olave, as my two wide receivers. My receiver spot I'm using on Zay Jones for Jacksonville. And my flex spot I used on A.J. Brown on Thursday Night Football. So that ended up being a disaster because he got in a big fight with Jalen Hurts, and I got 2 points. And he was being not a very good team player that game. So boo on my team so far. We're having a bad start this week. Now, tight end, I went with Darren Waller of the Giants, and then kicker, I'm going with the Bills' Tyler Bass, and the Patriots defense. So we will see if we can come back and beat this really good team that we're playing this week. So that's the fantasy football update. Again, guys, especially, let's see, Rangers baseball, Winto, and the Plushy Bros. Don't forget to put your picks in your comments for this week for the contest. Now, my pick was the Buffalo Bills. All right, let's have some football.